honestly, in the realm of movies, I feel like 2023 has not been doing very well. In the realm of TV, supreme realm, TV is supreme. I love TV. I think TV is just way better, but whatever, that's fine. That's not the kind of discussion we're having today. The kind of discussion we're having today is that in the TV realm, this year has been doing stunningly good. And I don't mean just in just the comedies, I also mean in the dramas, and that's pretty much it. It's still very early on in 2024, and we have 8 more months left to go. But I just finished watching Girls 5 Eva, all of the seasons, not just season 3. But season 3 came out, I think, a couple of weeks ago on Netflix. And so I decided I'm just gonna watch the whole thing because it's an easy binge, and oh my goodness, it's glorious. It's perfect. It's near perfect. Girls 5 Eva is a godsend. I don't know how I slept on this, but I don't want to just review Girls 5 Eva because it's really hard for me to talk about something that is good because I just want to be like, again, it's good. Watch it. So what I want to do is I actually want to rank all of the TV shows that Tina Fey has produced, which is only 5, excluding Mulligan because I have not seen it, nor do I care to see it. It's not the style of cartoons that I like watching, so I'm not gonna watch it. But there's only 5, and Tina Fey has not created all of these, but she's at least helped she's helped produce a lot of these. So we're gonna rank all of them. The options we have, in no particular order, are 30 Rock, Girls 5 Eva, Great News, Mr. Mayor, and the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Just so that you guys have an idea of what we're ranking. So coming in at number 5 is Mr. Mayor, created by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock, starring Ted Danson, Holly Hunter, Vella Lovell, Mike Cabellon, Kyla Kennedy, and Bobby Moynihan. This ran for 2 seasons, 22 episodes, and it only ran from January 7th, 2021 to May 17th, 2022. I did make a review for season 1 and I reacted to the finale of season 2, so you guys can go ahead and watch those. They're old. They're really old. I went to go back to see like the thumbnails and I was like, oh my god. So I'm finally in that stage where I'm like looking back and I'm like, oh, woo! But if you see those, you'll see that I had wildly opposing opinions of the show when it first came out. I still feel like the first half of the first season, it's a rough time. It very much is. Unfortunate to say, but granted, it's not quite as bad as other shows like Extended Family and Night Court, and I know that's really how first seasons kind of work, but it's rough. It's honestly rougher than it should be. But the last 6 episodes were honestly very good. It finally found its footing. All the characters finally figured out who they were going to be, and the show suddenly became funnier. And then season 2 happened, and it was actually really good. It's not the greatest thing that ever happened on the planet, but I appreciated the effort to make it tolerable and to make it funny for the generation at the time. And Holly Hunter was hysterical in season 2. I do believe that the show performed poorly because it was a little bit ahead of its time. Note that this show came out in 2021 during the 2021 boxing battle between America's 2 brightest idiots. Plus, the target of a lot of the parody ended up being social media influencers, millennials, and the younger teens and the generation. So I can imagine that this show just did not jive with a lot of people because, well, I mean, it was making fun of them, rightfully so, and they just did not, they can dish the heat, but they cannot take it. Is that the phrase? Is that the phrase? Unfortunately, the tonal shift was not enough to save the show, but I do have fond memories of Holly Hunter being as hilarious as she is in that season 2. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. Coming in at number 4 is Great News, created by Tracy Wigfield, executively produced by Tina Fey, Tracy Wigfield, and Robert Carlock, starring Briga Heelan, Andrea Martin, Adam Campbell, Nicole Richie, Horatio Sanz, and John Michael Higgins. The show had 2 seasons and it ran from April 25th, 2017 to January 25th, 2018. This show was a suggestion from someone that I met online, and at the time I had not realized that there was more than the traditional sitcoms in the world, and my personal world blew up. What's funny is that as this show began, I heard the traditional flute and clarinets that are prevalent in anything Tina Fey touches, and I knew this had to be her project. Great News is a hilarious sitcom, and I am absolutely torn that it was canceled after only 2 seasons. Unrightfully rightfully so. I don't understand it. This show is so funny. Don't worry, they do wrap things up nicely in the 2 seasons. I feel like they knew it was getting canceled, so they said, we're gonna tie up our loose ends. And they tie up the main loose ends, and honestly, the show does end satisfyingly. But I always wonder, what if it had just 1 more season? Perhaps 2 more seasons? Perhaps 17 more seasons. That would be phenomenal, but I will never forget the episode in which Carol gets hired as an intern and she needs to get a balloon that fell and up to the ceiling and it's stuck up there and it's insanely high, and she just, the whole sequence, so funny. This is definitely a hidden gem show. It is on Netflix, I believe, at least at the time of this recording. And if you're into sitcoms, especially Tina Fey sitcoms, this is definitely for you. And if you're into sitcoms, especially the Tina Fey style like 30 Rock, then this is definitely for you. I'm just insanely sad that we don't have a longer workplace sitcom about a news station. To me, that's fun. That's a good concept. I want more of that. Coming in at number 3 is 30 Rock, created by Tina Fey, executively produced by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock. And this one is starring also Tina Fey, Tracy Morgan, Jane Krakowski, Jack McBrayer, Scott Adsit, and Alec Baldwin, and many more. This had 7 seasons and it ran from October 11th, 2006 all the way to January 31st, 2013. Yo, that's when the Winter Soldier came out. However, I watched 30 Rock for the first time in November 2021 and finished it in December 2021. It took me about a month to finish the whole thing. I had to take a break from watching that to go finish New Girl because I thought New Girl was leaving Netflix, and it was in a different country. Bamboozled. Either way, I finished the show and I loved it, but I might get shot by a lot of you guys for not putting this any higher, and I'm sorry, but I absolutely do love 30 Rock, but I might love the other ones a little bit more, but we'll get to those when we get there. But 30 Rock, I mean, who cannot love 30 Rock? It's the original Tina Fey show. It's her show, and what got me in the show is the many cameos this show had along the way. What's very interesting are the actors that do appear on the show and that do end up as either mains or recurring characters, such as James Marsden, my girl Selma Hayek, and literally any big name film actor made an appearance on this show. 30 Rock was basically the Friends of the late 2000s. And I say this because Friends had a lot of big name actor cameos. However, 30 Rock does have some dated humor, which prevents me from putting it any higher on the list. But because it is the OG show, that's why it's deserving of top 3. Coming in at number 2 is The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, created by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock again. Starring Ellie Kemper from The Office, Titus Burgess, Carol Kane, and Jane Krakowski. This show ran for 4 seasons and it ran from March 6, 2015 to January 25th, 2019. I believe I saw this show before 30 Rock, but it was the same year. I love The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt for 3 reasons. 3 reasons. The world building, the acting, and the writing. Kimmy Schmidt not only existed but could also survive, and she did that with the help of Kimmy's supporting cast. Each actor fits perfectly in their character's role, and they bring their character to life, and it's such a fun ride every single episode. Honestly, the entire time I wondered if this show took place in the same universe as 30 Rock because of the many similarities in tone, music, style, the fact that they both take place in New York. Overall, I think The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is probably one of the best OG feel-good streaming shows, and that you could just put on and you're just gonna have a good time. It's impossible to not. And finally, in first place, we have Girls 5 Eva. I mean, I think you guys already expected which one was gonna be number 1 as soon as I started talking about it at the beginning of the video. But this show is created by Meredith Scardino, and it is executively produced by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock, but also Meredith Scardino. This stars Sarah Barry Ellis, Busy Phillips, Paula Pell, and Renee Elise Goldsberry. A cast that is insanely stacked, and it's just 4 people. This show currently has 3 seasons, and it ran on Peacock from May 6, 2021 all the way to June 9th, 2022 for 2 seasons, and then was canceled, and then Netflix said, I'm gonna buy that. because I like it. And so they gave us one more season, although this time it's 6 episodes opposed to 8 episodes like the first 2 seasons. And that debuted on March 14th, 2024 with no much more word if there's going to be a season 4 or not. No spoilies, but they both ended the story, but then they also left it on a semi-cliffhanger if they wanted to keep the story going. But if not, we're chill. I did write a serialized review for this on my serialized, soon to be merged with, Letterboxd, but the link to the full review is in the description. So if you want to know my full thoughts about the show, you may go there. But yo, I had no idea that this show was produced by Tina Fey, and nor that it was canceled. If I knew that Tina Fey had served as producer on this show, I would have watched this years ago. This had been on my watch list for about a year-ish, and then, I don't know, I guess I kept forgetting about it, and I didn't realize that Sarah Bareilles was in this. I didn't realize that Busy Phillips was in this. I didn't realize that any of the people were in this. I just said, cool, add to my watch list. I'll watch it later when I have time. And I only started watching it because Netflix had renewed it. And again, I didn't know it was even canceled. I said, hold on a second, what's going on here? And when I checked it out, I slapped myself because it's such a good show. Holy cow, the humor is so consistent. It's perplexing. The writing, I am in love with just the writing. Holy cow. As a writer, I love writing. I'm a writer. As a writer, I see what they did, and I love it. I'm having a little bit of a nerd moment for the writing. The only thing about season 3 is that it is 6 episodes, and because of that, because I'm used to the 8 episodes, I feel like the story was a little rushed. And also, the 3rd episode of the 3rd season definitely has that Netflix sheen to it. And I know it's very nitpicky, but I mean, come on, you go from season 1 and season 2 and you're just like, this was clearly made for a network streaming service at least, and then you go to Netflix and you're just like, was that Sony A7 IV? You can absolutely see the Netflix sheen, which is not bad. It's just a nitpick. Like I said in my serialized review, the humor is completely unapologetic and sometimes unhinged, and I love it so much so. I mean, one of the songs is BPE, and if you know what BDE means for the men, there you go. That is my list. That is my ranking. I love Tina Fey so much. She is literally my inspiration, my creator inspiration, someone that I just aspire towards. And I just love pretty much everything that she does. I've not seen everything that she did. No, I have not. But I've seen a lot of it. And she is the modern day queen of comedy. And I love Lucille Ball. That's why I added the modern day. So please don't shoot me. Ever. Let me know, have you seen any of these shows? If you have, what is your ranking? Which one is your favorite? Let me know, send me a message. I would love to talk about these. Please. My social media links are in the description below, and I will see you next time. You've just been Montified.